Absent fathers create wounded men. If your father was passive, absent, or abusive, or otherwise not the man that you needed, not the father that you needed growing up, I guarantee you this left a wound. And it's likely that this wound is exactly what you're dealing with in your life today. Maybe you're not connected to the wound, or maybe you don't know how it connects, or maybe you don't even think there is a connection in the first place. But I would question that. I would ask you to go a bit deeper on that. Let's look at the surface though. Let's say you're struggling with your purpose. You don't know what your purpose is. The role of a father is to embody purpose and to show through his behavior what purpose looks like and why it's important. Not through his words, but through his actions. A man on purpose, you can tell when you're in the presence of a man who is on a mission. We all can tell what that's like. And as a son, that's what you should have had modeled. But if you never had that modeled, deeper parts of you, your subconscious doesn't know why it's important. Let's say you're struggling with addictions and compulsions. Let's say you're a slave to pleasure seeking right now. A man has control over his desires, urges, and passions. He has a degree of mastery over these things. But if your father was, say, an alcoholic, that behavior was being modeled from a very young age. Remember, your father is the first representation of masculinity that you are presented with as a child. If your father is not in the picture, you don't have a model of masculinity at all. If your father was abusive, that's your model of masculinity. And let's say, for example, if your father was abusive or an asshole in some way, then you don't want to be anything like that guy. So what happens then? You repress your own masculinity. Not just the dark shadow aspects, the potentially destructive aspects, but all of them as well. Might have made you a people pleaser. Might have made you Mr. Nice Guy. Afraid of confrontation. Might have made you a doormat. It might have made you afraid of your own sexuality. Or it might have made you afraid of women. Because your father wasn't the man that you needed, that man also didn't model healthy, affectionate behavior. Didn't model in your parents what flirting looks like. You didn't get a model of that. Again, as children, we're constantly modeling what we see, not what we're told. So your parents might have said one thing and did another. Maybe you grew up with this weird, pervasive feeling that you're broken for some reason, or there's something just wrong about you, or something irredeemably screwed up about you. Why is this? As children, we make everything about ourselves because we don't have a broader model of the world yet. If dad's not in the picture, or if dad's an alcoholic, or if dad's getting angry or aggressive, or if dad's making mummy unhappy, well, kids automatically think that it's something wrong with me, something I did wrong. So if from a young age, your mind has been conditioned into thinking that you're just the cause of all this bad stuff going on around you. And if you never had a parent that told you otherwise, then you grew up with this sense that you are contributing to all this. There's something very deeply wrong with you. It's your fault. We call that toxic shame. It might have also made you very avoidant, fearful of relationships with women, fearful of women in general. It might have made it so that you struggle to form deep connections with women. Well, why is that? It might be the case that if your father was absent, abusive, inadequate as a father, what does the mother do? A lot of the time, the mother has to play the father role. Maybe you were raised by a single mother. Well, what can often happen is, in the absence of an adequate father, the mother becomes controlling, becomes devouring, becomes obsessive, becomes stressed, a control freak sometimes. Yeah. if this stifled your individuality and your development as you grow up, remember, the mother is also our first model of women. So if we grow up with a very controlling, devouring mother figure that suppresses and suffocates us, our subconscious is getting the picture. Our subconscious is understanding what's going on there. Our subconscious is constantly making associations. If this is what relationships and connection with the feminine, with women is like, I want no part of it, because it's controlling. It's a negative experience. It's painful. And as men, we tend to value freedom above all else. So what I just described was how the absent or inadequate father can manifest in a man's life. So it should go without saying that healing this is a priority, or should be a priority. You have men out there that are driving Bugattis, they're making a lot of money, let's say some of them are sleeping with lots of women and they're getting the social validation from other men about that. Let's say they're achieving things, grand things on the external. But a lot of these men, don't be fooled, right? Don't be fooled by the external, because a lot of these men are carrying a deep, deep father wound that is chasing them around, and it's not letting them enjoy any of it. It's not letting them sit and be at peace. It's not letting them be present with any of it. If you are watching this channel and you just want to make a bunch of money only, and you just want to sleep with a bunch of women and be more attractive, and that's it, and you just want to have social status, you want to have all the vanity stuff, then mate, go somewhere else. I'm being serious, go somewhere else. There are better channels for that. But man, if you're still watching this and you want to heal and be the best fucking version of yourself in this world, if you want to serve the world in a greater capacity, if you want to be the best man around for your wife, for your kids, if you want to be the kind of man that your kids one day look up to and think, holy shit, that guy is my hero. That guy's my hero. If you want to be the kind of man that your wife admires and adores, your girlfriend tells all her friends about, this guy is incredible. A man on a mission. And yes, that does mean making more money. Absolutely does. It means all that other stuff. But if you want to have all that stuff and put the healing first, is what I'm saying. Because healing this wound, which I believe to be the core wound of men today, is the fatherless wound. The father wound is the core wound. We had inadequate father influence growing up and we're suffering for it. Healing this is a heroic journey, and I invite you to walk it, because what you're essentially doing here is healing the fucking world, man. That's how important this is. That's how important you are. That's how important this journey is that's calling to you. You're healing generations of trauma. If your father was inadequate, he inherited a wound from his father too. And nobody in your bloodline so far has done the work of healing it. And if you're a man and you want kids one day, then if you don't do the work on this, then you will pass it to your children. And they will suffer for it. Not only will they suffer for it, but your unhealed wounds become the burden of everyone around you if you don't heal it. And on the flip side, your healing becomes the gift that you can share with the world. When you're in the presence of a man who is healed, we know it. We can feel it. And life rewards you for it. But how do you heal? First thing, man, you got to slow the fuck down, man. You got to slow down. You will never heal if you prioritize comfort over depth. It will not happen. You will be too distracted. Your focus will be pulled in every possible direction. To heal, we need to go slowly. We need to go deep and narrow. When I say slow down, it also means connecting with the sensations of the body, not walking into just this habitual overthinking pattern that you constantly do, and me too sometimes, of course. all of us. Connect deeply with the language of the body and slow down. Write. God damn it. Write. Adopt the identity of a writer. Writing is, I believe, the most important skill a man can possess. Writing heals you. Writing earns you money. Writing allows you to pick a different path in life rather than the path that your conditioning has destined for you. Writing frees your soul, your mind, your body, your finances. That's how important it is. Write about moments in your life related to your father. Moments that you still don't forgive him for. Write a letter to your father, telling him all the ways that you needed him, all the things you needed from him, but he didn't provide. Write about all the things that he did, all the things that he gave you, the ways he showed up, that you didn't like, that you didn't want. All this is about opening, we've got to do it, man, opening Pandora's box. Because this wound, it festers, mutates, and it rots away in the darkness when you don't look at it. And lastly, man, one thing I'm going to say is you don't need to walk this journey alone. In fact, please don't. Whether you're working with me privately, whether you're working with a therapist, I don't care. Whether you're working with a men's group, I don't mind what it is, man, but don't lone wolf it. You haven't got to lone wolf it. Please don't lone wolf it. I'm kicking off on the 5th of August a 30-day healing journey in a brotherhood, in a circle. We're going to do the writing. We're going to do the meditations. We're going to go deep on this wound for 30 days. Doing so has the power to change your fucking life. So far, 15 men have signed up for this. We're in a WhatsApp group as we speak, talking to each other, getting to know each other, doing the work already before we start. I invite you to join me. I invite you to join me and the other men that have joined, that have committed to doing this work on ourselves. You know, you could be way fucking better. You know you could show up in a way more powerful way as a man than you have done ever before. And that you are doing right now. You know that. And if you're watching this video, you also know that these little surface level courses and solutions aren't going to do it. You've read all the books, you know enough, you know you do. But what you need is something that's going to take you by the hand into the depths with support, with a pre-packaged roadmap, with daily exercises and everything. Just plug and play, just do this thing, and you will do the healing work on yourself. So click the link in the pinned comment down below, because those are all the details that you need to know about this. But even if you don't go ahead with it, then just take the message of this video seriously. There's a heroic journey ahead, and it's one of healing the father wound, healing the conditioning, healing the generational trauma that you inherited. You will benefit, your close social circle will benefit, and the world will benefit. With that in mind, thank you for watching, mate, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.